The real issue, let's be clear. Low intelligence is not about speaking broken English, coming from the village, not finishing school, or being poor. It's about the thinking patterns. You can hold a degree and still behave foolishly. You can have basic education and think deeply. Intelligence is reflected in emotional control. We need to have a community with the willingness to grow economically, socially, politically, and mentally. Collective intelligence builds collective progress. Imagine a community where correction is welcome, where the young people are thinking long term. I want us to see on how small beginnings are not respected, how love is used in form of rumors, how dramas goes around, and how our ego is not at a balance. Take a walk through the estate. Stand at a bus stage. Scroll through the social media. Sit quietly in a family gathering or attend a political rally. Even visit your workplace. You will notice something. It is not poverty. It is not lack of education. It is not the general lack of opportunity, but patterns. Patterns is how people react, how they argue, how they make decisions, how they treat correction, and how they handle information. And these patterns quietly explain something uncomfortable. The problem is not always what we lack. Sometimes it's how we think. Today, I want us to talk about behaviors happening around our communities. Behaviors we normalize, we laugh about, we defend, but are actually revealing low intelligence. This is not about insulting anyone. It's about awareness. Because when a community thinks properly, it suffers collectively. Let's be honest. And before you even drop your comment, I want you to listen and ask yourself, am I practicing either of this? Getting angry when corrected. In many workplaces and homes, correction is treated like an attack. Someone points out a mistake and immediately the mood changes. You're going to hear voices rising. Defensiveness will start. Excuses are going to start flowing. Instead of thanking the person for bringing out the point, we ask ourselves, do they think that we are stupid? So correction is not humiliation. It is a refinement. A thinking mind evaluates feedback. And when you become insecure, your mind fights it. When we reject correction, we reject growth. Young people being used for chaos. During election seasons, energy rises. Young people gather in large numbers. They chant. They insult each other online. Some even fight physically. But once the elections are over, what happens? Leaders are going to shake their hands. Positions are negotiated and life continues. The young people are left divided. Sometimes injured, sometimes jobless, and it does not only happen to the young people, but literally to everyone. That is emotional manipulation. Intelligence asks, what is my long-term benefit after here? Am I building my future or am I destroying it? Passion without clarity, passion without critical thinking is very, very dangerous. Get this from me. Rejecting small beginnings. In our communities, pride has blocked many opportunities. Some refuse to start a small job because it looks embarrassing. Someone won't start a small business because it looks just basic. Someone avoids learning a skill because others might laugh. Meanwhile, the bills are piling up. So what do you expect? Progress does not start big, okay? It grows. Low intelligence protects ego. But when you have high intelligence, it protects opportunities. Spreading information without verification. Actually, this is what we are feeding on today. A rumor is going to start in the morning, and by afternoon, it has spread and it is treated like the truth. This is what you're going to see it in the social media. You're going to find it in the family fights. Friends block each other. Communities divide. No one pauses to confirm. What do? We forward messages, without even checking. We comment without researching. We react before we think. Intelligence requires filtering of information, but not just consuming it. A society that believes everything becomes easy to manipulate. Addiction to drama. This one goes hand in hand with taking rumors and passing it around. Some environments survive on conflicts. Gossip is the daily entertainment. Arguments are public. Small misunderstandings become large confrontations. So how much time do you spend on your screen? And how much time are you consuming the negative energy? I want you to ask yourself this question. Peace is labeled as boring nowadays. But let me tell you something. Drama that goes around, it consumes mental energy. Intelligent individuals protect their focus. They understand that attention is a currency. When a community feeds on chaos, progress slows down. Silencing curiosity. We are going to find this case in our children. You get a child that asks too many questions and you shut them down. A young adult challenges ideas and it is being labeled disrespectful. Questioning is treated like rebellion, yet curiosity is the foundation of intelligence. Communities grow when thinking is encouraged. They shrink when obedience is focused without understanding. Please comment down what you think on this. Spending to impress. When you have an expensive phone, you want to have these lavish parties. You want to have the best designer clothes. This is not bad at all, but it is very bad when you're doing all this, yet privately you're struggling. Decisions made for applause rather than stability. When you have short-term validation, it can cost you a long-term security. Intelligence prioritizes stability over image. I want you to get this clear. And impressing people does not build wealth, rather discipline. So start by building one, okay? What about mocking growth? When someone improves themselves, we feel bad and we react very, very negatively. And we say they have changed. They think they have better. Or why is it that they are acting different? Growth often triggers insecurity in others, but mocking someone's improvement doesn't stop their progress. It only reveals discomfort. Intelligent communities, they celebrate growth. Insecure communities, they resist it. Refusing to apologize. You see that the mistake is clear and evident, but you don't go to apologize. You give excuses, blames, and you have the inability to admit something that is wrong. That is ego protecting itself, and it shows immaturity. We have to show our strength, but not stubbornness. How do we react? At times we react before thinking. Public fights, emotional social media posts, we give permanent decisions that are made in temporary anger. Reaction feels powerful. at the moment. But intelligent thinking requires a pause. Think, evaluate, then respond. When you get to be in this space where you are responding immediately without thinking, that is not maturity. Let us be mature when we are responding in this phase and in this era of the socials, all right? Before we blame leaders, before we blame systems, and before we blame circumstances, we must examine our critical habits because communities are shaped by individuals, and individuals are shaped by their daily habits. Growth starts with awareness. If this message made you uncomfortable, that's okay. Discomfort often means reflection, and reflection is where intelligence begins. If this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's build a thinking generation. That is all I had for today. Until we meet next time, bye.